Hello, my name is Bill Lawrence, and I'm the co-chair of the IUCC Fund Development Committee. I'd like to speak to you concerning one of the programs, the Legacy Circle. Legacy Circle was basically created by members of IUCC and friends to make bequests to IUCC in their wills so that the services and programs of IUCC can be continued in the future. I'd like to speak briefly about the importance of having wills and trusts. In California, if an individual dies without a will, the proceeds of the estate have to go through probate, and this can take many years. Also, if an individual has assets in excess of $150,000 and they are not protected by a trust, those assets also have to go through probate, and again can take many years to be settled. I'd like to talk about a few examples. My partner Jeff and I have been together 36 years. Between the two of us, we have 2 children each. We have 5 grandchildren. Many years ago, we decided we needed to protect ourselves and our children by having wills and trusts. And we have modified those through the years as family and finances change. In those documents, we have protections for our children and for ourselves. I had a very interesting recent experience regarding wills and trusts. Jeff and I have lived in the same neighborhood in Newport Beach for over 30 years. We've always been really close to our neighbors, especially the elderly couple across the street. About 10 years ago, he passed away suddenly, and she was left emotionally and physically unable to care for her home and herself. I would take the mail over, and before long, I see it was stacking up and she was receiving past due notices. She asked me if there was a way I could help her. I helped manage her home and her finances for 7 years until she passed away. I coordinated in-home services, in-home care, I managed the household, paid the bills. When she passed away, she had a will and a trust. I was named as the executor of the will and the trustee for her trust. In those documents, she left the majority of her estate to 8 charities. It amounted to $9 million. I was able to settle that estate in a matter of 6 months and wrote checks for basically $1 million to those charities. However, because one small account was not included in the trust, it was required to go through probate. She passed away 4 years ago. Probate has still not been settled. So bottom line is those charities have not received the rest of the funds that are due to them. So please, if you have assets, establish wills and a trust. I mentioned earlier that Jeff and I have wills and trusts. I also mentioned the IUCC Legacy Circle. In our will, we have an addendum. On that addendum, we can name specific items that will go to individuals or groups. An example, my daughter loves one of the pieces of art we have. In that addendum, she is named to receive that piece. We've also named IUCC in that addendum to receive a specific amount of cash upon our deaths. That's how the Legacy Circle works for us. IUCC is near and dear to us. We support the programs and the ministries of IUCC through annual pledge through the stewardship campaign, which, by the way, starts up again in October. And we also, as I've mentioned, want to make sure that the work of IUCC continues in the future. So we've designated IUCC in our will, and thus are members of Legacy Circle. I hope you consider doing the same, and thanks.